People are afraid of greatness, which means people are afraid of me.
I hate this channel.
No! No!
I'm back. I'm making this video so you guys don't so you guys don't ask me questions that someone else has already asked. I'm not going to give a biased opinion. I'm going to give a very honest opinion. My opinion being biased would mean me telling you I hate being here, don't come, university is a scam. I'm not going to say that regardless of what my thoughts are on the subject. Also follow me on my Instagram if you want to see the sights of Bath, and now we can get into it. First question, is there a large black population in Bath? Basically, it's not a balanced percentage, let me say it like that. It's not balanced at all. You are definitely going to be in spaces where you're the only black person, and for me that happens like 99% of the time. However, we can't expect there to be a big black population if you are a person of color who doesn't want to come to Bath, you know what I mean? I can tell you there's a big difference for my feeling being here as a black person, because last year I didn't join ACS because of COVID, and I thought, what kind of ACS groups are going to be, because I've only seen one other black person, which was Evie, on campus other than me. So then I joined this year because I was like, might as well try it out, why not? And I've met so many black people, I've met so many people of color, I've met so many cool people. We merge with other societies, and it's an amazing feeling. Like, I never thought I would notice the absence of that feeling of home, being like POCs and stuff. I never thought I would notice it because I never noticed how much I enjoyed it when I was at home, and now I'm in Bath. It's like, damn, like ain't no one no one's having street parties, no one's like block parties, no bashment, no nothing. Like, it's so weird to me now, but at the same time it's a temporary stay. I'm literally here for my education and I'm dipping. Bath is beautiful. I still recommend, if you're a POC, to come here. Bath is gorgeous. It's an amazing experience to move out here, because realistically, once you finish uni, you want to move somewhere you can get a job, which will be a big bustling city. So you're going to be around black people once again, and you're not going to want to come to a quiet city with very little job, like different sectors in one place. You're going to want to move somewhere where there's hella sectors mashed together as one, for better chance of you getting a job. So I know this is just a mild little pit stop in my journey, and so I can do it. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get it done. Next question, how do you travel? I can't drive. I have a few friends that drive. I don't drive. So you take the bus, you take the train. That's the only two things. The bus, I can't say first bus is reliable. Like, I can't even sit here and lie. Like, in London, I'm from London, so my opinion obviously is from what I'm used to now what is my normal like vibe. So I'm used to the buses like running every 3 minutes, and people get vexed if that 3 minutes turns to 8 minutes. Okay, here it's like every 15, every 20, every 25 minutes. So a typical journey that would take you maybe 5 minutes up the road will take you an hour, because you're waiting on the mercy of the bus. And God help you if the bus is full, because where I am, I'm in the middle. So I'm between Bristol bus station and Bath bus station. So I get the Bristol bus, and if that bus is full, they're not going to stop for me, and I have to wait for the next one, which is in 20 minutes. So consider that when you're looking for a second year house. I don't mind it too much because I don't need to be in town or at the campus every single day. But obviously, if your course is very interactive and you have to, that's going to piss you off. Things to consider, you know, things to consider. Also, it can change. They could get more frequent. What would you rate the university? This is a hard question. I get asked all the time, like, oh, where would you put the university on a scale of 1 to 10? I've only been to one university. This is the only university that I went to go see and look at the campus and see the rooms and shit like that. So my rating of it is pretty high. However, there are conditions. I've seen other people's accommodation at this very same uni, and I'm like, rah, you wouldn't even want to put a corpse in there. Like, I've seen it, and I'm like, if your parents saw how you were living, they would snatch you up out of this university so fast. I would give it maybe a 7, The reasons it's not a 10. Reason number one, campus security. I didn't have beef with campus security last year. However, I don't feel like what campus security is doing is very campus security like we've had times where campus security just walk into our kitchen and just go, hey, and they leave, and it's like, okay. I've had situations where people were ready to friggin' fight and campus security is nowhere to be seen. People snuck people in and out of their rooms. Campus security didn't know. They didn't intervene. They don't check IDs. I don't know if they do that now, but at the time last year they didn't. Bath Spa, like the Newton Park campus, is an open campus. People walk on and off that campus. So if anyone's gonna get murdered, it's gonna be people on that campus, because what's campus security doing? Rolling around and having a gay old time, which I don't know how much intervening their job can do. But when you say campus security, I'm expected to feel safe, whereas I've now been able to witness, observe, and I know multiple people who will tell you people walk up on that campus like they own it. They drive up on that campus like they pay bills, and they don't. So campus security, give it a -point. I didn't mind the sheep and the cows when I was staying in Gardens. I didn't mind them. The location, I feel like if you know we're not like local or near shops, the local shop should be 24 hours, just because if you need something you will starve. I don't think it was open during the weekend, so it's just like you will fucking starve if you're about to starve. Like anything else. Street lights, it's very dark. It's very dark on that campus, minus the black people clearly, but it's very, very dark on that campus. Like as a young lady, do I feel safe just walking about on the campus? No, I don't. Workload, I'd say my workload is pretty fair for my course. It's interactive enough. Do I think I'm using all of my resources at university? No, I don't, which is my fault. It's not the university's fault. But I wish they would have more events as a university. I feel like the university is very, at least in my experience, most of my flatmates are music students, and I feel like the music students run shit here. Like music and acting, they run shit, whereas media communications, I feel like we're just, we don't run anything. Those music, anything else students, they run shit. So if you want to study music, come here, because clearly they're on gang shit and the rest of us are not. So that's why I give it a 7, I think I said. Next question. Why did you pick this university? Media communications, the course that I do, you get a professional placement year. And so, quick little backstory. Before I went to uni, I took a year, like I took a gap year. So I deferred my place for the next year. So I wanted to get an apprenticeship and I wanted to work, because then I could decide if I really wanted to go to uni, if this is something I wanted, yada, 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 X, Y, Z. While working, this is when COVID started, so I couldn't even finish my apprenticeship, and I realized that if something like COVID could derail any career that I have, I need to have set skills where I can maneuver and have good jobs and be in a position where I'm not, I don't want to say replaceable, but where I'm not easily let go. Because I was working as an office admin in a solicitor's office doing, I think, business management as an apprenticeship. I easily can be let go because of my level in the company. I'm pretty much at the bottom. They could all do this job themselves, whereas I want to have a job where if you fire me, you're fucking up the company, and that's not the position I was in at the time. So when I came to looking at unis, I knew I wanted a placement year or some sort of working situation, so that you get your foot in the door, you get to experience it, and you make connections. Because essentially what people, I don't think, realize is a lot of the people you're at university with are going to be your eventual peers. Like they're going to be in similar working settings and environments. You need to make connections. That's why rich people get away with the shit rich people get away with, because the rich person knows the politician, they know the actress, they know, you know, they know everybody. You need to make connections, and that's essentially why the people in top universities get those friendship groups, because they make those upper class connections, you know what I mean? So while you're at university, definitely make connections with these people. Finances, I say I handle my finances pretty well. I know a lot of people who are in their overdraft, who start the year off in their overdraft. As long as you can pay rent, I'm gonna say you're doing very, very well. Paying rent and being able to eat are should be at the top of your list. Don't live without, like, outside of your means. That's definitely advice I would give you. Don't bother buying hella clothes, she says while she has new clothes on her bed. Don't buy new clothes because it's such a waste of time, and everyone in Bath dresses the same. Flares and a sweater, and if you're a man, it's skinny jeans and a tight top. Like, you're gonna come here and you're gonna be like, bro, don't get takeaway every day. It's a bad habit. Don't even bother starting it. If you don't start nothing at home, try not to start it here unless you have the money for it, okay? That being said, make sure you apply for your bloody student finance early. The earliest convenience. Be on your parents' head about that student finance, because let me tell you, there are people that I know that are just getting their student finance and it's December. So you're gonna want that money, and you're gonna want that money on time, because you will cry when your bank account say minus, and you're not gonna see a plus for another 2 months. And student finance take their jolly time, so you're gonna wanna be in there, you know what I mean? Next question, is it expensive to live here? Yeah, where I live now, I live in a second-year house. We have a cheap rent because we got the house during COVID, but usually I believe it's $520 just for the room, and then maybe 20 to 30 pounds on bills. So maybe to someone who lives in like a £1,000 a month place, that's cheap, but I live with 8 other people. To me, it should not be that much a month when we're all living in fairly small rooms. I'm not in an apartment size room. I have a bed, I have a desk, I have a mirror, I have a bedside table. I'm not asking for a fucking chandelier, but but you know what I mean? So it's very expensive. Plus you're paying for travel everywhere. Because, oh, forgot to mention, if you're on campus, you will be very, very, very lucky if an Uber comes to pick you up, because they rarely will drive all the way up there. They rarely will. I've had many times where they've cancelled on me, and I'm like, oh, okay, fuck me, right? Like, that's what they do. That plus travel, plus maybe some school books, some school supplies that they might ask you to get, plus going out, plus all that shit is so fucking expensive. So just be aware of your finances. Be aware of how expensive it is to really live here. Can you easily make friends? Join societies. That's the easiest way to make friends, because of course everyone wants to have friends and people to chill with at university. What's the party scene like? I personally have gone out to the club once. I'm not sure when I'll edit this video, but this is during the whole needles spiking in the situation, and I've already said, like, I will get locked up if I'm ever stabbed with a needle, because there's no need. There's no reason someone should be able to sneak in the club with a needle. You can't even get into the club with a hairbrush in London. And yeah, I have people out here stabbing people with needles. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. So I'm not going to no clubs till they sort it out, period. And I don't really need to go to the club because I'm lit and I'll be lit at home. The clubs, there are clubs here. They're nice. I would say though, people tend to go to Bristol for a nicer time, for like a more lit time. I've yet to go to Bristol. I might go next year, depends on what that scene looks like. If you join a club, like let's say Pole Fitness, they have socials all the time where they like go out and drink and have dinners and stuff. So you will have an opportunity to go out and party and shake that ass. Can you get a job? Depending on your workload, you can get a job. I know people that are in lessons and lectures and workshops every day, or they have so much homework they have to do it every day. I personally don't know what that feels like. I don't have that struggle. I'd say it's pretty easy to get a job. It's pretty much a student town. Obviously people want people to work for them. You get nice hours, work on the weekend. There's lots of bar places. Again, Bristol's up there, so if you want to go all the way to Bristol, you have the option to, but you can definitely get a job here. It's not going to be that difficult. Even just to start up like a small, there are lots of small retail shops here that will most likely need someone to help them out. How do you get flatmates for second year? My flatmates are from my first year house and they're friends, so I would definitely say, because the thing is, yes, you will make friends, but you don't know how they live. Like, me and a bitch could be best friends, but they live on the floor and have freaking crumbs everywhere. Like, I don't want to be in that environment. So I wanted to live with people I already lived with before, because I can see their habits. We're clean, we get along well, conflict resolution's good, we communicate very, very well. So, you know, I mean, these are qualities you look for in your flatmates. And you can also just ask. A lot of people during like the last 2 months, would post on like Facebook or on the group chats, hey, anyone looking for a roommate, or hey, we have 2 people that want our room, we just need 1 more person. So you could just join with strangers. It's no different to how you lived in the first year, you know what I mean? But you're obviously bound by contract and you have to pay people monthly and so on and so forth. So think about it. Just think, will you feel comfortable being in a house with this person? You know, does this person have good qualities? If they don't do it just because you're scared to be homeless. Because as I said, you will most likely find other people who want to live with someone safely. What do you think about the people in Bath? I think that people in Bath here are a little off-center. I don't really know how to put it in like normal words. If you meet someone like born and raised, you'll be like, okay. An example of what I mean is, I have a job and a customer walked in and we were talking. They were like, oh, like, what's your background? Which I already know how this is gonna go from the question, but they were like, oh, like, where are you from? And I was like, London. They go like, no, but like, where are you from? Which basically means you're brown. What's up with that? So I was like, oh, like, my mom's Jamaican, my dad's Montserratian, you know, boom, that makes me. And they were like, oh my god, Montserrat's beautiful, I've been there so many times, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh yeah, like, I'd love to go because I haven't gone, you know, making conversation, buy your stuff, get out the shop. And then when I'm like giving them the money, she turns around and she goes, you know, you speak English really well. I never knew that they spoke English in Jamaica. I was just like, huh? Why would you then turn to me and tell me that I speak English really well? This is what I mean, like, they're off center and it's just like they say things and you're like, you probably thought that was something nice to say. It wasn't. You probably thought that was something normal to say to somebody. It was not. Is there a gym on Newton Park campus? There is a gym. You have to pay for it, I think, by term. I could be wrong. The only reason I say don't go to that gym is because it's very expensive. I know cheaper gyms, but obviously you have to travel off campus, so I guess the price would add up. I don't go to the gym currently, but I know of ones that are significantly cheaper. Is weekly food shopping better? I only did food shopping whenever I'd go into town. So I would go to town every weekend because I had a job. So I'd go into town, do my shop, so that would prevent me having to like do it at random times. But towards the end of the year, which is the easier option, do shopping online. If they deliver, that prevents you from having to bloody take a trip. 1. 2, you can order more food because you have to carry it and you can only carry so much. And 3, if you order all together, you might not have to order as much. Like, we started like ordering eggs together and drinks and stuff like that, and ice cream. That's cheap when it's all of you guys ordering all together. Even as a house, that would be a very cheap shop compared to one person doing it and going out and all that fuckery. Like, it just makes sense for you guys to do it all together. So I do my shopping now bi-weekly, like every 2 weeks or so. Even if I just need one thing, I'll just go and grab it while I'm in town. So that's the cheaper option, that's a smarter option, and hopefully these tips were useful to you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any more questions, of course, DM me on Instagram. Yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. I will see you guys in my next one, whenever that is. That's it for this video. Bye guys.
Snap out.